Hello friends, how are you? Hope you are fine. Today we are going to have a podcast on Rahu. Uh, Although there are two shadowy planets in Vedic astrology, Rahu and Ketu, let us have a uh, research-based podcast on Rahu. And so far as Rahu is concerned, it does not have its zodiac sign. It's not defined whether it possesses uh, Libra sign, whether it is a lord of Aries sign, whether it is a lord of Taurus, whether a lord of Cancer sign. It's not proven fact in Vedic astrology, but uh, the sign in which it's placed becomes its lord. For example, if it's placed in Sagittarius, Jupiter will be its lord. If it's placed in Aries, Mars will be its lord. If it's placed in Virgo, Mercury will be its lord. So this is the nature of Rahu. Rahu, is ruled by the planet in whose zodiac sign it's placed. Now, Rahu is a mysterious planet because the things which you visualize in your life, which you observe in your life during the Mahadasha or Antardasha of Rahu, they are unable to be understand. One is not able to analyze what is happening. There is cause, there is confusion, there are undiagnosed, ailments within the body moving on, that one is unable to understand what is happening, although that happens, but understanding that becomes difficult. That's why we call Rahu a mysterious planet. But for few zodiac signs it gives amazing result during Mahadasha and Antardasha, and even irrespective of Mahadasha or Antardasha. Let us discuss the preconditions. But there are certain conditions with which we should have in order to recommend gemstone for Rahu. Otherwise it's extremely difficult job to recommend gemstone for Rahu and Ketu, because many conditions need to be there. Then only a gemstone for Rahu or Ketu can be recommended. Now, Rahu needs to be weak and well placed in a chart to strengthen. This is the first condition. This is one of the main conditions, and it should be weak by degrees, or by dispositor rather, and other things. It should be weak, because if you are going to strengthen a weak thing, that will result in a good thing, that will be a fruitful job. If you're going to strengthen an already strong thing, an already strong planet, that will give nothing, isn't it? That will give nothing. So Rahu needs to be weak and well placed. It should not be placed in 6th, 8th or 12th houses, because it gives malefic results over there. It does not own its lordship. That's why it will be discussed in another condition. Only in exceptional cases gemstone for Rahu can be recommended. What are these exceptional cases? You have to you have to consult an astrologer like me, who has hold on all those conditions and all those instances, all those situations, given the conditions where we can recommend Hessonite, the gemstone for Rahu. And only few lagnas can benefit from Hessonite. This will be discussed, which lagnas and which ascendants benefit from the gemstone of Rahu. Hessonite bestows high material gains. One of the most important reasons why people wear Hessonite or Gomet is that it's associated with high material gains, along with the strength of Venus, along with the strength of Mercury as well. So this is one of the reasons that Gomed Ratna is popular across India. Now, medically, it vanishes depression if one, undergoes depression during the Mahadasha or Antardasha of Rahu, depending on the weakness and the affliction of Rahu in the chart. Once Gomid, Ratna is used, Hessonite is used, it vanishes depression, and it also strengthens digestion and metabolism. For few zodiac signs that I have mentioned, the benefits are dominant in Mahadasha and Antardasha usually. Usually, so far as Rahu is concerned, it gives benefits, since it's a shadow rather. So it gives benefits during Mahadasha and Antardasha usually. In most cases, medical benefits are seen irrespective of Rahu. So see, when you are facing a problem of due to Rahu, due to weak Rahu in your chart, irrespective of Mahadasha and irrespective of Antardasha, it means that it can be treated irrespective of Dasha, isn't it? If the problem is being faced irrespective of Dasha, so the treatment can be done irrespective of Dasha. This is the logical point which is undeniable. Now, Rahu should not be placed in the malefic houses 6th, 8th, and 12th in the natal chart. If it's placed, it gives malefic results. If it's placed in 6th house and you are going to activate Rahu, it will give rise to diseases, and these diseases will be undiagnosed disease. You will be shocked what has happened to your inner body, that it's going to be destroyed now. Skin infections, boils, and you know unexpected disease it will give rise to in 6th house. Similarly, in 8th house it will give rise to impediments, obstacles in life. You will not be able to move ahead. If you are wearing Hessonite, you will not be able to move. So far as birth chart is concerned, in transit, if it's placed in 8th house, it can be managed, so to some extent, 8th house. But 6th house is the house of diseases, that should be taken care of. Now 12th house is the house of losses. If it's placed in the if it's placed in the Lagna chart, if it's placed in the if in the natal chart it's placed in the 12th house, it will again give worst results. The person will face losses. There is no doubt that the person will face losses. His mental peace will be disturbed, because in malefic houses the malefic influence of Rahu gets doubled. This is the general rule, which is undeniable. Rahu should not be afflicting or afflicted in the natal chart. This is another condition. I have tried to summarize the conditions that we should have for Rahu to be strengthened, and we should have for Rahu to be strengthened and to use Hessonite gemstone. These conditions are a must. We can't ignore these conditions at all. So let me start with the Aries ascendant. So far as Aries ascendant is concerned, I have mentioned the conditions. So far as the Aries ascendant is concerned, Aries ascendant can wear Hessonite mainly during the Mahadasha or Antardasha of Rahu. Irrespective of Mahadasha or Antardasha, it won't give genuine results to Aries ascendant, and given the conditions that I have mentioned. Now we have another Taurus ascendant, one of the most important zodiac signs, and one of the disturbed lagnas among the 12 is also Taurus ascendant. They are never stable, and their health remains unstable due to transit. One of the ascendant which is prey to most of the transit disturbance is Taurus ascendant. They remain unstable, and one of the most important gemstones that can control their malefic influences, that can control the malefic influences in the transit and in the natal chart is that planet is Rahu. If Rahu is strengthened, but there are conditions, can be it strengthened or not. It's not that we are saying that Taurus and blind without looking at anything you directly give Rahu. No, there are conditions. You can't, in the light of these conditions, you are seeing these conditions, and that are you able to analyze whether Rahu gives afflictions in the chart or not? It's analyzed by the astrologer himself. Then accordingly he recommends Hessonite for Taurus ascendant, and it controls many of the disturbances at the extreme level so far as Taurus ascendant is concerned, and one of the most important ascendants for which Rahu gives best results. Now most important Gemini, for this ascendant it will be a good deal to deal with Rahu, isn't it? He can use, and Hessonite will give best results for Gemini as well if the conditions are fulfilled, and if Rahu is weak and other conditions are met. So in that case, it can give well results, and generally we need to have an eye over the conditions that I have mentioned. Now worst results, the zodiac sign in which worst results are being given by Hessonite, it's Cancer ascendant. It won't Hessonite will never give best results in this, so it's better to avoid in case of Cancer ascendant. In case of Leo, he can use during the during Dasha Mahadasha. It can be used because most of the Leo ascendants, they feel depression during Mahadasha of Rahu, and they can use Hessonite. There is no doubt in it. So far as Virgo is, they can use irrespective of Dasha. It's one of the most favorable planets for Virgo ascendant is Hessonite, is Rahu, and they can use Rahu in the light of the conditions that have been mentioned. And Libra ascendant, they can also used in the light of the conditions most important from them and most compatible for them, and they'll be able to benefit a lot from Hessonite. And so far as Scorpio ascendant is concerned, given the conditions, they can wear mainly during Dasha, and irrespective of Dasha, there are 70-30 chances, and it's better to avoid besides Dasha, it's better to avoid. And if there is a Mahadasha of Rahu and Rahu is weak, they can use Hessonite. And Sagittarius ascendants, they can use Hessonite during the Mahadasha of Rahu, not irrespective of that. So far as Capricorn ascendant, they are also disturbed zodiac signs. They are considered as disturbed. Usually they remain without peace. They remain in different situations one is unable to expect. And also in this chart, Rahu plays an important role in controlling the malefic influences of the malefic planets rather. Now is the Aquarius ascendant, it also gives fruitful results. Rahu gives fruitful results in zodiac sign also, and it's also compatible and most important for the zodiac sign as well. And other conditions need to be met that I have mentioned. Pisces, one of the worst results that Rahu gives is Pisces ascendant. They can't use they can never use Hessonite. It will never give fruitful results. Besides that, most importantly, what the recent studies say, that Mercury need to be strong first in all the lagnas, irrespective of Cancer and Pisces ascendant. Mercury needs to be strong. Mercury needs to be strong. If it's not strong, it needs to be strengthened. Then only Rahu can get activated for the native. Then Rahu can give best results if Mercury is strong in the chart. If Mercury is not strong, it needs to be strengthened. And after that, Venus. First, it should be Mercury, then it should be Venus. These two planets, at most, they should be strong. Then only a native can benefit from the results of from the Hessonite gemstone from the Gomet, and he can seek and he can avail benefits from the Mahadasha of Rahu or Antardasha of Rahu under these conditions. So in order to summarize and crux, it's most important to mention that it's very difficult to recommend gemstone for Rahu and Ketu. And although I accept that they give extreme benefits during Mahadasha and Antardasha of those people who get disturbed extremely by health and other issues. For example, Taurus ascendant is there, Virgo ascendant is there, Capricorn ascendant is there, Aquarius ascendant itself is there, Leo ascendant is there. All these ascendants without Pisces ascendant and Cancer ascendant, all 10 zodiac ascendants, they need Hessonite during the times that I have mentioned. And I'll in case of this podcast, I will add Sri Lankan Hessonite is considered one of the most standard pieces, and it should have clarity, luster, and all that. Although nowadays African origin, Hessonite comes and with the cutting of Sri Lanka. It's cutting is of Ceylon, but it's of African origin, and most often they are sell in the name of Sri Lanka, but they are African origin. So that needs to be taken care of, because Ceylon is a standard quality considered in Vedic astrology, and I'll add a video of that, because my gemstones are astrologers backed, guaranteed. I myself guarantee the gemstones that I have given to many clients across different states of India, and the courier service is quite fast. Private courier service, it's merely 2 or 3 days it takes to reach to the destination of the client. So, and the price is quite low as compared to the market. There are no affiliation, there are no brokers, nothing. It's just at wholesale price, and above all, the quality is unique, and it's at wholesale price, and that goes to the benefit of the client as well. And this is all about that. I'll just add the video. So